Hey guys, welcome to Hey Guys, an internet obsessed podcast where we discuss all your favorite social media stars, what they're doing, and how we feel about it. I'm Amanda Hasica, a content producer for Instant, which basically just means I keep my finger on the pulse of the internet at all times. And if you don't know what Instant is, it's a new media outlet and video platform dedicated entirely to covering digital creators. Today, I am joined by friend of the podcast, instant social media guru Stephanie Vasquez.
This is like my fifth time.
Yeah, girl. And then Laurel, we got Laurel back. Laurel's on Laurel Elfenbein, who is also an instant producer along with me. She was on our very OG first one, and she's back.
I'm excited. It's been a while.
Thanks for coming. Thanks for being here. So I feel like this is our first topic of the day is something that might be a little bit old, but I feel like it's come kind of full circle. It's had a beginning, a middle, and an end, and I feel like we can talk about it and kind of give our thoughts with it, and that is the drama that's kind of been surrounding James Charles. And if you don't know who James Charles is, he was the first. So we'll kind of start from the beginning with James. He became kind of an internet virally-ish sensation last fall, I want to say, because he was getting his senior photos taken. And he talked about getting his he brought a ring light and his highlighter could be popping.
His highlighter was on point.
And so everyone, and he was this beauty guy who had these amazing, insane thick eyebrows, and so people just really kind of took to him and thought he was so great. And so CoverGirl approached him to become an ambassador. He was the first male. I might be getting the exact title wrong, but he was kind of one of the first male faces of CoverGirl. And so he got to be in a campaign with Katy Perry and all these people. And then I think as part of his work with CoverGirl, I think this was last week. The timeline on this, I might get this a little bit wrong, but he went to Africa. But right before he left, he tweeted, "I can't believe we're going to Africa today. OMG, what if we get Ebola?" Which
God, face palm.
Yeah, face palm. And so this turned into a big thing where, obviously he apologized right away. His CoverGirl even apologized on behalf of him. Right. So his initial apology, and these could get kind of long. I'll try to paraphrase as much as I can. He's just, "I'm not going to post a bullshit apology." This is on Twitter. "I was told what to say, and that's not how an apology should work. I'm extremely sorry for my tweet, and I feel shit for saying it. I'm traveling to Africa today with a few friends for a school trip." Oh, I thought it was with CoverGirl. Whoops, sorry. Ironically, it's an educational trip because we all know very little about the country but are eager to learn. I'm aware that the tweet was extremely offensive and degrading. I posted it to make fun of my friend's mistake, but to not think about what the tweet as a whole was implying. It was never my intent to offend anyone, and I'm sorry. And he just talks about he apologizes basically. And as I mentioned, CoverGirl apologized on his behalf. I feel like this is kind of what happens when someone becomes a super virally sensation really quick.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. They don't have
a downfall.
They don't have the chops, or they don't really, because they've gone their whole lives without having anyone know who they are, care what they have to say.
Could have posted that as an anonymous person without people finding it or caring.
Yeah.
Because it's
it doesn't
not
make it
really,
right. It's still a dumb thing to say. But
kids these days, I feel say things like that in the company of their friends, they it's assumed to be a joke. So that's kind of become more prevalent. I notice even my friends, young 20-somethings, still will say offensive things and not really care because other people know it's a joke. But when people don't know you that way, it kind of comes off, and he has those expectations he may not realize of being a very eloquent, thoughtful person, and that was just one mistake.
Yeah, and again, he's only 17, 18.
Yeah, he's not even, or I guess he just graduated high school.
He's very young.
What's the school trip? I thought he was graduated.
I don't know, but he went.
No, he's still.
I feel he's still, because he took a senior photo. You take your senior photos the year before or the summer before your senior year.
Yeah.
But yeah, again, I think, you go your whole life kind of no one really knows who you are. You're very anonymous, and he's not anonymous anymore. Yeah. And so I think he didn't really think that anyone would notice or care that much if he made this offhanded remark. And
I can't see how. I wouldn't even make that remark.
He's 17.
He's
17.
That's the thing too, but as you were saying, my friends who are definitely not racist or at all, or racially insensitive, we kind of make jokes in the privacy of our group that we would never put it publicly, obviously.
Right.
Maybe he just didn't think.
And when you're the face of a brand.
Yeah, when you're the face of a brand.
I think that there are so many, and he hasn't been like famous for that long.
Yeah.
So he just
doesn't know.
He did not think about it. I think what it comes down to.
Instant actually recently interviewed him at a beauty convention, and he was very eloquent and very positive. Yeah. So I think that's kind of more who he is, and just like 17-year-old mistake.
Yeah, I don't know. It got really messy, but then he also after the trip he did another lengthy apology, just saying. So I'll read the whole thing. It's a little long, but so he said, I just spent the past 10 days in South Africa in Cape Town. In Cape Town, our first stop was to a local high school. I was nervous to visit after the recent events. However, I was met with endless smiles and hugs from kids that came running from all over the school. Learning about the school system, education, and their everyday lives was eye-opening. After touring the campus, I sat down with a large group of kids and talked to them about my ignorant comment, which degraded their continent. The students made the conversation easy, informative, and lighthearted. Being able to talk to these kids about my mistake taught me an important lesson about privilege, something that has always been a concept I didn't fully understand. Through speaking with them, I became aware of the potential impact I might have, both positive and negative. I don't want to be someone who takes advantage of this privilege or be someone who is only self-aware. I was also given the opportunity to talk to the principal of the school about gender identity and acceptance, and we had a great conversation. The students aren't allowed to wear makeup or have long nails, and there's a strict dress code at the school, but we talked about the importance of self-expression. I realize how fortunate and grateful I have been to have opportunities that I have and to be supported by people all over the world and called out when I mess up. My ignorance allowed for me to make a massive error. I'm extremely sorry for what I said. There are no excuses. No one owes me forgiveness, but I've learned a lot from this experience. I hope that people who might look up to me will always be able to learn from my mistakes, not repeat them. I recognize my position as an influencer and know that it is so important to be a positive role model for all, and how in many ways I failed to do so. I'm eager to keep learning and keep growing as a person. The trip has been one that I will never forget. From one school of Eagles to another, thank you, Edgemead, for such an incredible and humbling experience. So it sounds like he did a lot of soul searching there. But again, I think what it really boils down to is 17-year-olds say really stupid stuff.
Yeah, they say stupid.
And he didn't, he just thought I could say this and no one would really care. Think twice. And he was wrong because you're a cover girl.
It's another case of a YouTuber doing something that you're like, why in the world would you say or do that?
Right.
Yeah. There's been so many cases lately, though. It's like, what's going on with YouTube right now? It's kind of crazy. But, I think that you just was an innocent, he's a kid still.
Yeah. I appreciated that apology because I don't think he mentioned CoverGirl in there. So it really seemed like it came from him and no one was really telling him he had to say that. So
Right. Nice. I also think, as I mentioned a little bit earlier, I think what happens is YouTube influencers and creators and digital content people, I guess actors are regular people too, but I feel like with actors, it's this is me acting and then this is me who I am. Where these digital influencers, creators, etc. are themselves.
Yeah,
there's no one that they pretend to be or whatever, so they I think that there's a weird divide there.
Well, Steffi and I both love watching David Dobrik, and did you notice recently he posted a video sometime late last week or early this week, and I don't remember the joke he made, but he made a pretty offensive joke, and he does sometimes, that's his
I honestly think that a lot of the vlogs that he and Liza do too are a little bit racially charged in a way that I feel like people think is funny. But
this one he deleted.
Yeah. Oh, he did it?
So he deleted and posted a video I'm really sorry, I know I make these kind of jokes a lot, but this one went too far. So he deleted the video, and that's kind of a testament to what you were saying. He knows he is liked for that kind of thing. That's why people watch him, but you do have to toe the line.
Yeah. So, but this is another thing that this gets messy. So shout out to teen.com. I used to work there. So they did this really interesting article about how he had a friend who is, quote, exposing him for basically saying that the photo that made him famous, that highlighter pop-in photo was photoshopped. And so it was this guy named Thomas Halbert, and apparently they were best friends, but they had some kind of falling out. And so he posted this photo of like a side-by-side where one is like the Photoshop version and then the other one's like the regular version. And he's like, here's the receipts. And he like put all these screenshots saying like, the fact that you scam social media into thinking you retook your senior photos. And he says, if you expose me, I'll kill you. But I know, call me Joanne, like Joanne the scammer. And then, but this is funny because all of a sudden this Thomas guy is like, I do want it to be known that James is an amazing makeup artist and is talented. I told y'all last night that my tweets were uncalled for. So basically like backtrack was like, JK.
Oh no, you can't backtrack from that.
He said, I told y'all I'm trying to be a positive person. Last night was a moment of weakness. Those screenshots and everything was out of context. I don't agree with some of the things he's done in the past. I'm not kissing ass or anything. Yes, he retouched his pics, but he didn't retake. My actions were nasty, and I did them out of adrenaline and anger. I was petty for no reason, LOL. I just got off the phone with James. The unfollow was deeper than y'all realize, as dramatic as that sounds. LMAO, plus I was drunk. So, like, this guy sounds like he got drunk and was, like,
wanted to
being
expose
petty.
him.
And what a weird thing. Like, bad week for James Charles.
Bad week for James Charles,
Did
for
James
sure.
respond to that?
Let me double check. I think as far as I think because it was like, like,
I mean, I honestly don't care if he faked it. I honestly don't. Just because I feel like if you are a creator and you're trying to figure out a way to, like, make it big and you're smart enough to come up with an idea that could be, like, viral like that.
Totally.
Plus, like, I think any, like, person that's kind of, like, went viral could have staged it. Like, there's could have been multiple cases where, like, those people didn't actually do what they did to make them famous.
That's what goes on behind the scenes of these things, is that it's actually fake. And sorry to break that to everyone, but...
it's just like a good idea that they made work for them. So I don't know.
And that's still, and you know what? He still has proven himself to be an expert at beauty and makeup. So it's not like he's this total fraud.
Yeah, for sure.
Either way,
everyone uses like filters and retouching. Come on, it's 2017. But yeah, I think this is kind of a situation where, as long as it doesn't, like, continue, where he's saying problematic things and, you know, like, these, like, things are coming up of him kind of lying about things or what. Not that he lied about it, but just, I don't know, I'm going to keep my eye on him. I accept his apology and everything, but just keep your eye on James Charles. I'm rooting for him. So let's hope he continues to just kind of do his thing and focus on work and all that kind of stuff. So any final thoughts, guys?
Final thought is something's going on there. He's a little bit shady, but he's smart and he used it for his own good. So
keep your head low for the next couple weeks, James. Just
focus on work again and school, because you're still in school. You're only 17. So okay, so I think moving on to our next topic. So this is something that we kind of noticed, like, as an office, of the world is being taken over by twins, and in, like, a lot of ways.
We talk about this all the time.
So I think the year of the twin kind of started off with Beyonce obviously kind of announcing that she was expecting twins. And then George Clooney, who you may or may not know, very famous actor. He's quite a bit older and was, like, this big playboy, and he got married a couple years ago, which was, like, very shocking, and his wife is expecting twins.
It's so sad to me that people may not know who George Clooney is.
I know. There are, though. I might have told you guys about this other podcast I listened to called Who Weekly, but there was someone who didn't know who Garth Brooks was. So you never know. And Garth Brooks is a country singer, if you don't know who Garth Brooks is.
You don't know who he is.
But anyways, so twins, there's a lot of twins in the digital space as well. Like, so I'm just going to name off a few. So there's the Dobre twins, Lucas and Marcus. They have about 2 million subscribers. They're friends with Jake Paul. They're, like, super acrobatic. Like, they're always, I feel like, doing backflips and all that kind of stuff. So there's Lucas and Marcus. There's the Dolan twins, which I feel like the Dolan twins are kind of, like, heartthrobby. Like, Grayson and Ethan are their names. I think they were on, like, the cover of, like, Tiger Beat recently, which is so funny. I used to buy... Bop was more of my magazine of choice as a youth.
J14 was mine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
J14. So yeah, that's it. So yeah, Grayson and Ethan Dolan, they have like the most insane like jawlines. Like their jawlines are so
I don't
sharp.
actually know the difference between the Dolan twins and the Dobre twins.
See, okay.
They're very, in my mind, they're the same
so
twin
different.
set.
So the Dobre twins have like curly hair. Like
Right.
To
And
me,
I think they're young.
They
have
both hang out with
curly
Jake Paul,
hair.
or they don't hang out? They both don't.
No, the
The-
Dobre
the-
twins live in the Team 10
Oh,
house.
okay,
Yeah.
got it.
So Dobre twins, and then Dolan, they have crazy jawlines, like so sharp, the sharpest jawlines you've
Yeah.
ever seen in your life.
And they got their start on Vine.
Yeah, they got their start on Vine. Like I said, they're a little more heartthrobby. Like I feel like the Dobre twins are a little more lanky and like tall.
Yeah.
And then the Dolan twins are a little bit more
Muscular.
like muscular, I guess. I don't know. I hope they're over 18.
The
I feel
Justin
weird.
Bieber potentially.
Right,
of-
right. And then there's the Martinez twins, who again are another Jake Paul, like pals of Jake Paul, which I've seen them in some of Jake's vlogs, and they
Right.
like barely speak English, like,
Yeah.
and so they have about 500,000 subscribers, and their names are Emilio and Ivan, and they're only 17, and
Oh, wow.
I don't know what it is, like Jake Paul, like why are you so
Loves
obsessed with twins?
twins.
Like
Wait,
it's
so
weird.
Are the Martinez twins more Dobre type or more Dolan type?
I think more Dobre, like they're just kind of
So they can do
chill.
cool stuff. Like,
I guess like they're just like to
Are they
me,
big in Mexico? Is that why they're kind of
They're
like...
from Spain.
Oh, they're from
So
Spain.
I feel like the big draw to them is like they just like are very sidekicky. Like there's this video that they're in where Jake is like they play like Jake's like wingman throughout the whole video. I feel like they're
that's
like props.
what Jake loves to do with
Jake-
his
yes,
friends.
yeah.
Like they're like the
They're
side
props.
character.
Jake loves to be the star, and
Yeah.
like everyone else kind of serves to. I mean, they look good, obviously, but like they make him look good.
Yeah.
too.
They're basically like glorified props. Like it's weird. I don't know. Twins are cool and everything. Maybe Jake like wishes he was a twin and is
Maybe
just
that's what
like
it is.
living
Him and Logan.
vicariously.
Well, him and Logan look alike. Maybe that's why he's bitter that people
He
probably
doesn't
call
have
them
an actual
twins, but he
twin.
has to be like, nah, we're
Yeah.
not.
And so another set of twins, the Merrill twins, Veronica and Vanessa.
Love
They
them.
just hit 2 million subscribers on YouTube. They're adorable. They do a lot of like
Congrats.
challenges and a lot of live streaming. Laurel, I think you interviewed them at the streamies.
Yeah,
right?
they won last year. I forget what the category was, but they were so sweet, so humbled, like very much knew that they were very lucky, and of course they're talented. So
Yeah.
it was cool. It was
Yeah, I
cool.
get good
liked them.
vibes from them.
Yeah. Really sweet. I still can't really tell them apart.
I can't either. I can't.
They're
There's
like,
I know one
no
of them has like
differentiator.
one of them has like bangs, sort of.
But they both have that dimple, so it's like hard to
Oh,
tell
they
like
do,
which
yeah.
one
The
is
dimples,
which.
same length hair too.
Yeah.
I feel like I would be so scared to have twins. Like if we were a mom to have,
Yeah,
I'd be
and
like,
they're
I'm gonna
identical.
get them mixed up.
Yeah.
right.
And then another set of twins, Nikki and Gabby. They have almost 5 million subscribers. They
You can
do
tell
like
them apart.
yeah.
Yeah.
So Gabby is like a little more girly, and Nikki has like the blue hair, and she's kind
Yeah.
of like punk rock,
They're
not
the
punk
Parent
rock,
Trap.
but yeah.
They're literally
So.
the Parent Trap.
Yeah, they do a little bit of music, and they're like friends with like Tila, Dunn, and Meredith
Alicia
Foster,
Marie.
and like all those girls. They're cute. They're fun. And then we have Brooklyn and Bailey, who they recently did a video. They have a song, right?
They have a song. The music video, I don't think, is out yet, but
Dance
hopefully
Like
that's
Me.
TBD.
Check it out.
Yeah.
Such a catchy song.
They're big on Musical.ly.
They're also super cute. I've watched a few of their videos, and they like to do a lot of challenges. And
Yeah.
get their friends involved.
And then, okay, so we're still going. Like, we're not done yet.
many
And then
twins
there's
in
the
space.
Road Brothers, who I feel like
Oh yeah.
they were maybe so the Rhodes brothers. They had a video that went viral somewhat recently. I want to say within the last like couple years, where they both came out to their
Oh, yes.
yeah,
I
the
remember
blonde,
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
and they ended up getting parts on Scream Queens, that Ryan Murphy show,
Yeah.
which I watched, and I think I stopped watching with like a few episodes left because I was
I
like,
watched
Yeah,
like the
that's
first
so
season.
bad.
I don't watch anymore.
yeah,
I don't
same.
think I don't think I finished.
But yeah, so one of our editor, John, is like neighbors with them.
Oh my god, really?
Yeah,
Oh,
we
I
were
know
gonna. He was like, I'll see if they like want to come on and talk about being twins.
Guys,
but
where are you?
next time, Road
I've
Brothers.
interviewed them too. They're both really sweet guys. That's
Yeah.
like a commonality. All
Yeah.
the twins I've talked to are really nice.
Yeah.
So far.
And then there are a couple other like non-digital twins, but like this just proves how like twins are becoming like a brand. Like you can brand if you're a twin, you're like, let's brand ourselves as twins. So there's this show on Bravo called Summer House about all these people, like these like young 20-something like working people, and they have a summer house in like the Hamptons or Montauk, and they go out there every weekend. And so there's a couple twin girls on that show, the Workus twins, Lauren and Ashley. And so there's more. And then the twins from The Bachelor, who were on Ben's season last year, Emily and Haley. They're getting their own show on Freeform. Cause, like,
are you serious?
I'm dead serious, yeah.
Freeform loves like taking like Bachelor contestants and giving them a show.
Yeah. So I think that's just kind of about their like journey to like find love or whatever. I don't know. I watched them on The Bachelor. I watched them on Bachelor Pad or I'm sorry, Bachelor in Paradise. And like I still don't. I was talking to my roommate once about it, and I was like, I know who is who, but I don't know which is which.
Right.
And she was like, that makes no sense. And I was like, yeah, I guess it doesn't. I guess I still don't know who they are. But so yeah, and then also in the instant, like, so within our very small instant team, there are two sets of twin brothers. One of our producers, Chris, has a twin brother, and then one of our editors, Tyler, has a twin brother. I'm scared. The twins are just taking over.
In my friend group, there's like, there's one twin, and then there's one triplet.
Whoa.
So it's like,
that's
very rare, but it's actually two of my friends are. So
yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. I grew up with, like, some of my best friends were fraternal twins, and they did not look a thing alike at all. So I just kind of, when I saw my first, like, identical twins, I was like, oh my gosh, this is what real twins are.
I mean, I guess the OG twins are obviously Mary Kate and Ashley.
Yeah. But but my favorite, Tia and Tamara Mowry.
Oh my God.
100% sister. Oh, yes.
Go home, Roger. That's a good one. That's a good one. That might be a little too, I'm trying to think. I mean, Mary Kate and Ashley, does Lindsay Lohan and Parent Trap count?
That definitely counts. It's like my favorite movie.
Broken heart that it was one person.
Yeah, me too.
My heart just smashed into two.
She probably wouldn't have as many problems if she had a twin.
Yeah, I hope we can all remember and like recognize that in Passport to Paris, the Mary Kate and Ashley movie, that was the first time I ever heard the phrase froyo. Like at the end of the movie, they're like, "You want to go get some froyo?" That was the only one I really, really liked, Passport to Paris. All the other ones I was kind of like meh about. I think because I have two sisters, so I feel like a lot of girls who were like really into Mary Kate and Ashley were either like didn't have a girl sibling, or like maybe they were an only child. Yeah. See, I have one of my friends has she has three brothers, and she was like obsessed with Mary Kate and Ashley.
But I was obsessed with Mary Kate and Ashley, and I had an older sister. So maybe your theory isn't.
Maybe my dang it.
Different reasons. I mean, they kind of gave me twin goals. Like I didn't have imaginary friends growing up. I made imaginary siblings. One of them was Hilary Duff, by the way.
Yes.
But, and they kind of gave me like the idea if I had an ultimate sibling, they would look like me. People would get us confused. We would go like gallivanting around the city, whatever they did in their movies and stuff.
But I mean, like the moral of the story here is just like there are so many twins, and like what
twins are winning 2017.
What an interesting thing to like I said earlier, like you can literally brand yourself. Like if you're a twin, like that's a brand.
Well, back to Lucas and Marcus Dobre, they kind of have always caught my attention because they can do amazing stuff. Like they're really like acrobatic. Like their Instagram photos are so on point. And same with the Dolan twins. Like their Instagram photos are pretty good. And I think for me, that's what drew me to them. And when I saw their videos, I was kind of disappointed because their photos gave them so much potential and they looked really funny. Like they looked like, I don't know. And then I watched a video of them today and I wasn't as impressed. But
oh, we got a Dobre hater over here.
No,
damn, Laurel tells it.
No. I mean, I was talking about the Dolan twins. Like they're.
Wait, you don't like?
You still can't.
No. So it was the Dobre twins. I'm very impressed by.
Okay.
I'm impressed by their videos because they like go in the supermarket and like
do crazy jumps.
Do crazy jumps and like their Instagram photos. Like one will be standing up and the other one will be standing on their shoulders. It's like stuff you don't think is possible, and it looks 10 times cooler just because they are the same person.
Yeah.
So.
And then the Dolan twins, you don't like their videos. Is that what you're saying?
I watched one that I was kind of like, but.
Like I said, I think the Dolan twins are more just like we are hot and like this is we're hot, like we're
And
hot.
now that
it works.
Probably because it's like they moved from Vine over to YouTube. They maybe don't know how to do YouTube.
Yeah.
Well, I was actually watching
longer
a
than
video.
6 seconds.
Yeah, I was actually watching a video where they were reviewing their old Vines, so maybe that's what it was.
Yeah, there was a good discussion lately about how like Vine stars are now making the transition over to YouTube, and they can't really do it right and do it as well as obviously they did their Vine. So it's like this hard crossover.
I wonder why that is. I mean, I think in some ways doing, you'd think, 6 seconds, that's so easy, but it can be a lot harder to try to get everything you want to get in such a short amount of time.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's just like the longer format. I just don't think they probably the comedic effect is not necessarily there.
Mm-hmm.
No, I mean, well, the one person that kind of translated exactly from Vine to YouTube is like Lele Pons. I used to watch her Vines, and like she would get dressed up, like it would be a sort of character scenario that they play out, and then she does that on YouTube now, just like longer versions that get major hits. Like for me, sometimes they can play a little long, but she's one of those people that just kind of was like, I know what I'm good at, and I'm going to do it on YouTube.
But I also feel like if you had a solid enough fan base on Vine, like, they're going to follow you no matter what. Like, it doesn't matter, like, that kind of thing.
And also maybe it's easier for, like, the female Viners versus, like, the male Viners.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Because girls rule, boys drool. Duh. Any final thoughts on twins? Do you think Beyonce will have 2 boys, 2 girls, 1 boy, 1 girl?
Just from the hints, I think it's going to be a girl and a boy, and I'm so for it.
Yeah, I'm into it. Yeah. I'm very into it. Well, twins are taking over. If you're a twin, we want to hear from you. Maybe we can make you into the next, hot twin brand.
Yeah.
Okay, so moving on. So this is something that caught our attention earlier this week. I don't know, last week? Honestly, this has been I think it was last week. Okay. So Jesse Wellins recently posted. Yes. So Jesse Wellins is Prank versus Prank. He does a lot of pranks. Like, didn't him and his girlfriend, like, literally broke up because they were like, we played too many pranks.
That's what they said. I'm like, okay, then there's no pranks with my boyfriend.
So he recently posted, and then this is the thing that, I mean, when you literally make your, living off of pranks, it's sort of, I'm not saying that this is a prank, but he posted a video last week saying that he has this daughter, and he kind of, he said this long story about how he was like 19 and in boot camp, and this girl got pregnant, and he thought it was his, and he doesn't know if it is, and so it was like this very complicated thing. And so as far as we knew, so he tweeted it out and saying, "Don't judge my story by the chapter you walked in on." But yeah, so he basically isn't even sure if this kid is his or not. I think he said that she would be about 14 now. Right. And I don't really think there's much he can do. I mean, I don't really know much about like adoption laws, but I don't think that there's really anything he can do until he turns, or the child or the daughter, I think it is, turns 18. Because you would think like his name is on the birth certificate, so it's like, okay, he just get a DNA test or whatever, but I don't think that's how it works. I could be wrong, but
right, because he's not legally her guardian. So.
No, but like I said, it gets complicated. But then I noticed he did a tweet and delete today that he tweeted, said, "You want more of my life story? You know I was married once." And he deleted it within like a few minutes.
Oh, yeah, by the way, when Amanda shared that link with us, I clicked on it a second after she shared, and it already said, tweet not available. Yeah.
So I don't know. What a weird, I'm so intrigued by it. It's like, I feel like he's giving you all these little chunks, and you're kind of just like, what? Huh?
I feel bad because his whole life is putting his life on the internet. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of what's natural to him. And I think at this stage, he's like, oh, wait a minute. Like, I don't know what I want to say to people, but all this stuff is happening to me. Do I owe them something? Do I not owe them something? So I can see why he would pull one of those tweet and deletes.
Yeah.
Or he's just trying to promote a Snoop Dogg music video.
You know what's going to get me to watch it? I want to see it. I think it's going to be great. I definitely want to see it,
for sure.
I think it'll be great.
No, I
Maybe
feel
it's
bad.
publicity.
I'm one of those, like, naive people. I, like, truly believe, like, I like to empathize with people, and I think he's going through something. Like, I think
he is.
Right.
I think he is to a certain extent. But yeah,
I know the time we questioned. We were like, why now? Like, why this?
I think everything. I'm like I said. I think we've talked about this before. I can't remember who. But I think everything is fake. I'm like, I think everything is a publicity stunt.
I think everyone's a too.
I think everything is fake. Everything is so calculated. Mindset.
Yeah.
I think on one hand, I think everything is calculated, but on the other, I am sort of like, but you
life
know,
happens.
Who knows? I don't know.
I mean, he did talk about how he tweeted about having a daughter before, and that's how he wanted to explain it. So I'll give him the benefit of the doubt.
So maybe he tweeted this out and deleted it, and we'll like explain it.
Yeah,
like explain that strategy.
Yeah,
I'm gonna look at his
in
YouTube.
like 2 years. I'll follow up with that.
I'm gonna look at his YouTube channel and see if he's posted anything since, because I'll keep my finger on the pulse of this story for you guys.
Yeah.
Keep you updated.
But see, the thing with
the video has 5 million views, by the way.
Wow.
His daughter's story.
People really wanted to hear about it.
Yeah, I didn't realize he had said in the video that people have been commenting like constantly, pretty much like at least enough.
I feel like
enough for him to.
If someone that you really like, let's say you're super into Jesse Wellins and he's someone that you follow, like. If someone was like, "Hey, I have a daughter," one day and then never said anything about it, you'd be like, "Tell me more! What the heck?"
Yeah.
Like a secret daughter. I'm gonna look at the comments a little bit.
Right. That's tough though, because if I was a fan of his, I might ask once or something, but I would also want to respect the fact that that's kind of a tough issue. But some fans like make crazy comments, so.
Yeah. It's weird because like on one hand, you know, he is a person, he has his right to privacy and he has his right to kind of not talk about whatever he doesn't want to talk about, but then like why even say anything in the first place?
Totally.
Like it's just such a weird, like there's no right or wrong to it, but I don't know, like this is my favorite thing ever. Someone commented on his video, plot twist, that how about that girl is his daughter. Because I think she's like 13 or 14. Hey, you never know. Crazier things have happened. But yeah, again, I'm going to keep an eye on it just because I'm intrigued. I mean, whatever it is he's doing, like, I'm paying attention. I'm like, what's going on here? Yeah. So,
yeah.
Keep us posted, Jesse. Yeah. And another cool, like, kind of transitioning a little bit here. This is a really cool YouTube record that was just broken by none other than Ed Sheeran. So he posted his whole album on YouTube when it came out on Friday, his album Divide, and it has over 1 billion views, and it's been like 4 days. So that's like a record, and he broke a bunch of streaming records on Spotify, which I think is so great. I think this is one of those things that shows, like, a lot of, you know, some musicians are apprehensive to put their music on streaming services or on YouTube right away, but this, I mean, I feel like Ed Sheeran's may be an exception just because he's like so humongous, but I don't know. So
I think he's number 1 in iTunes too. So.
Yeah, so I'll be very curious to see like when Taylor Swift like releases her next album if she'll like embrace this.
I hope so. I always hated that I couldn't find anything of hers on Spotify.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was kind of.
So I'll be but you know, Ed and her friends, and this is obviously like Ed's doing fine. Yeah. You know, people are still buying it.
That's what bothered me about the Taylor Swift thing. I was like, you are fine. Like, you have enough money, and you will make enough money. You will go on tour. Like, everyone's going to go see you. Like, you can make your music available to people. That always kind of got to me. But Ed Sheeran actually, like, teased Taylor Swift's album. Nothing big, but I think in an interview.
I think he just said that it's, like, coming out.
Coming up next year, this year. But they're friends, so I hope she doesn't try to
like,
one-up him like
you'll
that.
be fine. Look what one of our lights just went out. Which doesn't really matter if you're listening to this, but if you're watching it, then
sorry that we're dark.
It went a little dark, but that's okay because props to Ed. Yay, love you. And the album is great. The album is very, very good. I've been very much enjoying it. And so since one of our lights out, that actually, the timing of that works because I wanted to go on to like one final segment. So Wednesday, March 8th is International Women's Day. Yay! So YouTube is actually doing this really cool initiative. Mashable wrote about it. It's called Her Voice is My Voice. So it says YouTube is utilizing International Women's Day as a chance to share the stories of inspirational women from around the world. The Google-owned video platform on Tuesday unveiled its latest social good campaign called #Her Voice is My Voice. The goal is to shine a brighter light on the incredible and strong women within the YouTube community. Danielle Tied, I can't pronounce her last name, sorry. Chief Marketing Officer at YouTube sent a blog post. YouTube is asking creators across the globe to use the hashtag to share a video of women whose story moves and inspires them. And they also curated a playlist featuring videos with inspiring women. I think that's so awesome. Yes. I think that's so cool. Who are some people that you would say inspire, some women that inspire you guys?
Oof. Mine's always going to be Amy Poehler, number one, first and foremost. Ever since Parks and Rec.
I love her so much. I interviewed her once, like 5 years ago, and she was the nicest person.
I love her.
So I was on like the tail end of the red carpet, and usually a lot of times like bigger stars will kind of skip the last few people just because they're like, oh, sorry, I'm running late or whatever. But I remember just kind of watching her. She was maybe a couple people away, and she looks over and she was just like, oh, well, like, I should probably wrap up. I still need to talk to all these people. And she stopped and she talked to, like, every single one of us. Like, we only got in, like, a couple questions each. But I will never forget that. Like, I thought that was so amazing. And she has a really cool she doesn't really have a social media presence herself, but her Amy Poehler Smart Girls is so awesome. I follow them on Instagram. Awesome. It's just really empowering, and it's so fun. And I think it's great. I love that she's kind of, like, I don't have a traditional social media voice, but here's something that's educational and inspirational.
I mean,
exactly.
She already left her mark forever with Leslie Knope, the ultimate feminist.
Right. Anybody who else? Some of mine, don't judge, but okay, so Oprah's probably my number one.
Oprah,
I love Oprah forever and always. She's my queen. And then, like, hard left turn, I love Kris Jenner. I think she's
still important. She made a whole business out of her family. That's a pretty big
love
thing.
Her or hate her. I mean, she is a smart businesswoman. She's strong, and I love that she's sort of like, you know, she has a lot, like, pretty much all daughters except for Rob, and she kind of taught them all how to, like, empower themselves and make their own money, and, like, they don't to rely on anyone but themselves. Like, Kim is richer than Kanye, I'm pretty sure. Like, look at that, you know? So, I don't know. I think that that's super badass. Yeah. In my opinion.
One of mine that I think, when I bring it up, sometimes it's controversial. I really look up to Rihanna, and I've heard from a friend that she's, like, horrible to work with, like, shows up late to set.
Yeah, I saw her in concert on my birthday. No, it was when she was just her. This was like 4 years ago on my birthday. She, like, didn't start the concert until like 10 p.m. Like, it was ridiculous.
Essentially, like, with some flaws aside, I think she's very important because I think a lot of women feel pressure in, like, the workplace and with peers to just be nice and to be really attentive to other people and put them before herself. So, but I think Rihanna kind of breaks that stereotype sometimes to the extreme where she might be rude. I don't know. But she's unapologetic. Yeah, she's unapologetic. Like her album. She kind of just does what she wants because she knows she's successful. She knows she's like a talented human being who can stand on her own. So,
and I love her style. Like, I feel like I love. She wears, like, sleeping bags in public, and she can literally wear anything, and it looks amazing.
The real reason she's my role model is that one photo of her in heels as she's walking along, like, one of those New York City grates, and her heel doesn't go through.
So my favorite thing, this is, like, one of my favorite Rihanna things ever. So she posted this on Instagram a few years ago for her mom's birthday, and I'm going to read it because I have it screenshotted on my phone and, like, saved because it's, like, my favorite thing ever. So as Laura was speaking, I was, like, getting on my phone. I was like, I'm not being rude. I'm literally getting it so I can read this. So this is what Rihanna wrote to her mom for her birthday. Queen, goddess, number one role model, angel. A million words I can use to try to describe this courageous, fearless, selfless woman. But at the end of the day, no word makes her feel more special than mom. And mom is capitalized, like, M-O-M, mom. How lucky am I to have come here through you? You nurtured and taught and cultured me, and then some things couldn't be taught, but you were inevitable simply because I'm your daughter. This is why I say how lucky. Nothing could have prepared me for this world more than you did. Thank you for always saying the right things at perfect times. Thank you for actually always, that was all caps, knowing like you always say moms do. Thank you for putting your needs aside for your three little monsters and anybody else. Thank you for cutting my ass when I was getting out of line. Thank you for teaching me how to think like a N-word. Thank you for everything. Thank you for being you. Today is a special day. The day he sent you. Happy birthday, hashtag April 5th, hashtag mom.
Did you copy that so that you can then write it in a birthday card to your mom?
Probably. No, I'm going to write, I love my mom, duh, but I'm going to write a letter to Kris Jenner. And, that's what it's going to say. Queen, goddess, angel. But that's how I feel about Rihanna. I'm like, you're she's so, I love her.
She's she also is like she understands what people are joking about her, and she'll be the first one to say it.
Right.
Yeah.
That whole Grammys shot thing. She posted that gif on Instagram.
Yeah.
I was like, that's cool. I
remember,
no one would do that.
So I used to work for this website a few years ago, and we kind of said something that I guess looking back on it now was a little shamey about her outfit. It was very scandalous and this is very NSFW, inappropriate, and I apologize for the language. But so we said something, and then she replied back to us, and she was like something about, why are you writing my dick if your pussy's so dry, or something like that. She literally said that to the website.
I just saw that on the internet yesterday. It's still there.
You saw it?
A screenshot of the tweet.
You saw it?
And there was some BuzzFeed article about why Rihanna's amazing.
Oh my god. But yeah, so that was it's funny at first, my coworker who it was his post that had been tweeted out, he was mortified, and he's like, oh my god, I'm gonna get fired, Rihanna hates us, and we were all just laughing about it.
Amazing.
Yeah, I remember at the end of the day, we were in this group chat, and the guy who had tweeted out, he lived in New York, so he was a few hours ahead of us, so he was leaving for the weekend. He's like, all right, bye guys. And then another one of my coworkers was like, cheers to the freaking weekend. It's just too soon. And he was like, oh my god. Yeah, so thank you to people like Rihanna, Kris Jenner, Amy Poehler, who are just so badass and unapologetic, make us proud to be women and to celebrate them and to celebrate all of us on International Women's Day. Yeah. I can't wait to celebrate everybody. I'm going to bring donuts or something. So to celebrate.
I was just going to wear red, but if you want to bring donuts.
Oh, is that, you wear red?
Yeah.
Just wear red? I didn't even know
that.
I did not know that.
The people who organized the Women's March back in February are doing another.
Or I think it was in January, because it was the day after inauguration, right?
Yeah. Wow.
Fact check.
It's been a long, long
hello,
year.
I'm I don't know how to say this person's last name.
Anyway, so in January, so they're doing another, it's a protest. So my roommate actually isn't going to work tomorrow. Their whole office is closed.
I've heard of people not, A Day Without Women.
Yeah, that's what it is. So if you have to wear it,
I unfortunately don't really have that luxury.
No, exactly. So we're wearing red tomorrow.
We're going to wear red in spirit. I'll mentally be checked out. I'm just kidding.
Is the protest going to be at Pershing Square? Where is it?
I don't think it's a physical protest. I think.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, I think it's just
I think it's sort of the Day Without Immigrants. Where
okay,
got
it.
You're supposed to stay home. You're supposed to not buy something. No one is getting the benefit of your existence that day except for you, which is kind of nice.
Yeah. Well, like I said earlier, girls rule, boys drool. Any other last thoughts before we wrap things up?
Happy International Women's Day.
Happy International Women's Day to all the women out there. Yes. You guys are badass. You rock. We love you all. All right. Make sure to follow us on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. We're at Instant, DOTME. We'd love to chat with you guys, hear your thoughts on Twins or Ed Sheeran or Women's International Women's Day or James Charles, anything we talked about today. Keep the conversation going, and we will see you guys next time.